Welcome to PBI Radio, everybody. It's Chris Guns, and today my guest is U.S. Olympic boxing coach, Basheer Abdullah. Olympics didn't go quite like Basheer wanted, I'm sure, but it was an uphill battle from the start. He worked with the team for 4 weeks before they went out to London, and it kind of showed for the men's team anyway. But it wasn't all bad because the ladies saved the day. And we're going to talk about the men and the ladies and how it was when Clarissa Shields became the lone gold medalist for America. So let's not waste any more time and get Basheer Abdullah on the line. Basheer Abdullah, thanks for joining us, PBI Radio, man.
Say that again?
I said thanks for joining us at Pro Boxing Insider.
Thanks for having me, man. Truly appreciate being your guest tonight.
I appreciate you being here. Tell me about London, man. How'd you like London?
London was bittersweet, man. We had a poor performance with the guys, men, and the women. They represented us well.
Yeah, they did. There was really no training staff until 4 weeks before the games. That's when you started, and you kind of began with an uphill battle from the start. It was a team, not that it didn't have talent, but they didn't have the time to prepare, and they didn't have the experiences that other countries have. How did they approach you for that job, and was it something that you wanted?
Well, at the beginning of the process, this whole quad, I said I was going to, sit on the sideline. But there was a push for my service, through mostly through the athletes and most of the females, because I was fortunate enough to be successful with them the last 2 times at the World Championship. In China, we brought back 5 medals, and improved ourselves at our medal count from 2010. So it was a big push from the women. And then when I had my opportunity to work with the guys in camp for the American qualified, they got a chance to, to experience my training regimen, my coaching philosophy, and so they got hopped on board and they started pushing me. And then there's a few other people, coaches, administrators, thought that I was the guy that was be able to pull it off. But the reality is, if we don't have a structured program, it's almost impossible, regardless of how talented I am as a coach, how talented our athletes are. We just didn't have enough time to be successful.
Absolutely. It's what it's all about is preparing and experiences and knowing where you've been and you could get there again. But upon first meeting the team, though, who did you see who did you recognize right off as possible big talent?
Well, with the males, we thought we had 2 experienced guys. Rashi Warren and Michael Hunter was 2 most experienced guys. And then when you look at, I thought several of those guys, if we was able to instill some of our techniques and make it second nature to them and get them to execute strategies, we can pull it off. And so you're looking at Diaz. Diaz was very special to me once I got him in camp. Earl Spence, and one of my favorites was Terrell. I thought Terrell was an undersized middleweight, 75 kilo compared to the rest of the world, but he was fundamentally sound, and he wasn't too far off from the things that we was trying to implement, in the camp.
Yeah.
It's we creatures of habit. At the end of the day, when things get heated up, then now we're gonna revert back to what we really know. And in most cases, that's what happened.
Yeah, I always hear about the closeness of the team. When you first got there, did they bring you into that circle, or did you kind of feel like an outsider?
Who was that? The athletes?
Yeah, I heard how close the boxers were with each other, and they had
I think the coaching staff was part of that. That's one of the things that we wanted this. We expressed, throughout the camp. Once we came together, we have to be a unified team if we're going to give ourselves a chance. And so it's one of the most unified teams I ever been around. It was great to work with. The attitudes was positive. They stuck together. And we thought that was the edge. And we thought that was going to give us that edge to to beat the odds. But that wasn't enough. It goes back to reality. You got to have a 4-year plan. You got to have finance. You got to have a structured organization. You got to have a whole lot of international experience. Because the average gold medalists or silver medalists, they got 10-plus bouts prior to the Olympic Games, international bouts.
Yeah. Some of those guys got 300 fights.
Well, I'm not even just calling a fight. I'm talking about just the bouts they got prior to the competition they had over a 4-year period leading up to the games. And we have an average of maybe 5 or 6, and those numbers only high because of Basheer and Michael experience with the men. But if you take them out of it, you're looking at anywhere to 3 to 4 international bouts. So we're well behind with international experience, and we just have to restructure our program and make it a very elite program and make the standards very high, and our athletes and coaches got to decide if they want to be professionals or they want to be amateur boxers and have a dream of winning a gold medal at the Olympics.
Yeah. So much that has to be done.
So much.
How was the flight to London?
It was cool,
Yeah.
We was excited, it was of course a long flight, but my mind never shut off, I was ready to go into this thing, and my mind was constantly running, trying to always find that edge for our athletes,
You got it.
even though I wasn't working the corners or anything like that, but I still accepted the challenge, But again, reality set in, you just got to have a structured program to be successful at the games,
That's right. When you guys got to England, what did you see? How did you like how the British put that show on? They're known for that pomp and circumstance and putting on a big show. How impressive was it when you got?
It was very. The Brits was a great host. They was true boxing fans. The venue was full every night. The energy was high. So and they was great. They didn't just cheer for their athletes, they cheered for other countries as well. Even when they felt bad decisions was there, they let it be known, regardless of what country it was. So they was a great host. They was great fans. And it was very exciting to watch. I would love to see our venues feel like that in the United States with amateur boxing.
I'd love it. I love how England treats boxers and the show that they put on when you watch boxing from America, from the UK. It's always fun to watch. Did you?
Right.
What did you do? I saw pictures of people at Amir Khan's gym, and who else did you meet? Did you meet other big time British boxers?
No, Amir Khan was the only one I got a chance to meet face to face. Our gym was pretty much closed off to everyone. He was a great host. We was very appreciative that he came by, after his loss with Danny Garcia, that, he showed that he was a true professional, and that didn't prevent him from coming out and interacting with us and sharing his Olympic experience with our athletes, so that was great. That was one of the positive part about this Olympic movement in London, that, he came out and was a first-class guy, all the way.
Yeah, yep. And do you stick with your team throughout, or do you mingle with other people? Do you go and meet the other teams, the other boxers on the team?
Pretty much I know a lot. I've been in this business for a while, but I stayed over at the University of East London. I wasn't in the village, so even if I was, I don't think I would have been, interacting too much, because I think my schedule would have prevented me from doing that. My focus would have been on our athletes and what we needed to do to get in the ring and perform at our best.
Yeah. How excited were Queen, Marlon, and Clarissa going? This is the first year female boxing was a part of the Olympics. Had to be exciting.
That was a historic moment, man. It's a beautiful thing to watch. You know, those women, not just American women, but the women throughout the world. You know, Katie Taylor. You know, the energy she brought into that arena when she got into the ring was amazing, man. You know, you would think that was Mayweather and Pacquiao fight. You know, that we continue to miss out on, but. It was exciting. You know, you would have to be there in that venue to feel all that energy and excitement and history that those women brought to amateur boxing.
Yeah, I'm sure. Had to be exciting. And what do you think of Rau'shee Warren, first guy to make 3 Olympic U.S. teams and ended in heartbreak again, first round going?
It was very sad because I thought, you know, he put his heart into it. He was a great leader. You know, he was an awesome team captain. He pushed his teammates every day, you know, and shared all, you know, his past Olympic experience with them. He was very serious about it. You know, the only thing I think caught up with him was the weight. You know, I think he was at that weight too long, you know, and it caught up with him. You know, you could tell once he got down, I think it was around about 114 pounds, his performance dropped off. You know, and the first time we saw it was in Bolton when he was sparring Diaz. You know, I never seen anyone have the best of Rau'shee like that since I've known him and watched him spar. You know, so that was the first indicator that, you know, that he's just not the same boxer at that weight class.
Yeah.
You know.
And it was a controversial Olympics throughout, pretty much, and Errol Spence had been declared the loser in his fight with the Indian kid Vikas Krishan, and then upon further looking at the video and stuff, they gave Errol 4 more points, didn't they?
Yes, that is correct. Because after reviewing the video, the committee saw that the Indian boxer had held Earl a total of 9 times in the 3rd round.
Yeah, in the 3rd round alone.
And, right, you know, but in the 3rd round alone. So, you know, we had counted, when we reviewed it, we thought we counted 7. And not only that, he intentionally spit out his mouthpiece. And that rule state that should have been an automatic warning as well, rewarding Earl 2 more points. But they said that the 9 holes that the referee ignored and didn't call, it was called, you know, that we should have been rewarded 2 warnings, which gave us 4 points. They didn't give us any points for the mouthpiece because they felt that the referee was in a bad position to see that. You know,
Yeah.
But it worked out in our favor. You know, we got it overturned, but unfortunately, we wasn't able to take advantage of it.
Yeah, it was an embarrassing Olympics for boxing and a few other sports too. The Chinese teams come to mind, and the lack of real testing for Jamaicans was even brought up. What do you have to say about the boxing officials, the judging, and the refs, and how ridiculous was it, Basheer?
Well, I mean, I think we had a black eye. You know, I'm a part of both of these organizations. You know, I consider myself a part of AIBA and USA Boxing. We still got to get it right. You know, I think we had a very bad showing. I think the percentage of winners are still not getting a decision is too high. You know, the percentage of making the bad calls is still too high. We got to fix that. Now, I don't know. You know, but what I was saying about the referees, the judging, you know, I think it's one of the worst we've seen in quite some time. You know, we're still seeing where the winners are losing and the losers are winning. You know, and the percentage of bad decisions is still a little bit too high. You know, I think our president, President Wu, is working very hard and trying to clean those things up, you know, but we just haven't got there yet, you know, and I'm a part of both organizations. I consider myself a member of AIBA and USA Boxing, you know, because I love amateur boxing, and I want us to get it right, you know. Yeah. In both organizations, you know, because I would love to be around when boxing get recognized as being a credible sport in the Olympic movement. You know.
Yeah. So when they did, they overturned the rule, and Errol Spence actually won the fight after he already probably shed some tears after the loss and stuff. So it was kind of like an emotional roller coaster probably for Errol Spence.
It was, and and he had beat the Russian before, on a tiebreaker. And it's funny, we're talking about this because I looked at the bout the other day, and I thought that bout should have been a little bit more closer. Even if you look at it several times, you might think Earl might have won it. If you count his body shots and all that. But then I go back and look at the things that we didn't do right, and I always look at that. And the game plan for Earl was to box move to the left, stand on the outside shoulder, and bagging that Russian up, constantly bagging up. He did it, to a certain extent, but I think he could have did it a little bit more. But when I looked at the tape, I thought Earl left it all in the ring.
Yeah. Yep.
And I was very proud of his efforts, but it just happened to be it wasn't enough, to get him to win that night.
Yeah, most of them all fought good, close fights in their losses, except for Jamel Herring and Dominic Brazil. But Errol was the only one that made it to the quarterfinals. That's it's just disappointing. But everyone else had great showings. They just lost by maybe a point, 3 points.
Right. We was in the bout, and I felt if we would have had a little bit more time with those athletes, I actually believe we need at least a minimum of 6 months. A coaching staff need at least 6 months. And sometimes I don't think that's enough, because at the end of the day, if you was my coach for 4 to 8 years, and then I go join somebody else, when things get heated up, I'm probably going to do the things that you taught me versus the things that I was trying to implement, and you was trying to implement in a very short time.
Mm-hmm.
So we gotta build from the bottom up. So we gotta create a national system just like the rest of the world is doing. I studied the Cubans a lot, and I always wanted to know what made him so successful.
Mm-hmm.
And after studying and reading, doing research, when he was named the head coach of the Cubans, it was back in 1960.
Mm-hmm.
And his first Olympics, they only won, they didn't medal.
Yep.
And then the second Olympics, he got a silver.
That's it.
Yeah. And then the third, he got a gold. So he went through several Olympics before he was successful, but the Cubans didn't change their program. They could constantly build. It was a long-term thing.
Yep.
So with us, we get a bad performance, we throw all our experience out the window.
Yeah.
We always starting over.
Yep. That's true.
And we don't understand that that's not how you build a successful program.
That's true. How deep? How deep did you see the ladies of the world? Not just American ladies, of course, but from other countries too. How deep are they? Are they?
Oh, I think they're going to add more weight classes. The women boxing are excited. Let me show some of the difference between. I'm glad we're talking about the women. And a lot of our elite coaches in America out here say the same thing. But one of the differences that I was able to realize during this Olympics, I was able to see the difference between the men and the women, is that our women, they are loyal to winning.
Mm.
And what I mean by that, they not afraid to let their personal coaches know, well, hey, this guy know a little bit too.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? He know what he's doing. I like what he's saying to me. I agree what he's saying to me or trying to teach me. But our men, they loyal to what? They coaches.
That's it.
They don't want to be known as sellouts or they loyal to the hood or their city or their states or whatever. It's a big difference. And maybe because the women are still trying to prove themselves.
Yeah.
It could be. And they don't have any outlets. They focus on that gold medal. They know they don't get that open doors for them. Endorsements, sponsorships, whatever. but it don't open the door for a great professional career.
Yeah.
You know, ain't a lot of money in that for them right now. Maybe in the future, but now it's not. You know, so that gold medal is big to them. Just like the Cuban males or the Russian males, they know that gold medal opened doors for them.
Oh yeah, they overachieved and they
overachieved. That's right.
Worked hard.
So and then not to knock our guys down, because you know we rotate our guys every 4 years, man. You know, they turned pro, majority of them. Rashid was the only one. We're very fortunate that he came back around along with Michael Hunter. You know, so we don't see that too often. You know, and but the girls, they've been around for a while. They got a lot of experience. And then when you look at how we formatted and prepared athletes to reload, how much, I mean, that was time for us to be getting those guys in camp and international experience, you know, versus boxing each other again. You know, the women had tremendous amount of competition leading up to the game.
Yeah.
They had the trials, they had the continentals, they had the world championship. They was busy.
Yeah. Yep. And bring me through the ride you had with Clarissa. Everything went perfect.
Right. You know, to me, you know, I don't know how many people will agree with me, but I feel that loss at the world championship was the best thing for that young lady.
Yeah.
It was the best thing for that young lady, because she became open-minded to some of the things that we were saying to her. Now, her coach, it was a combination what her and her coach have been doing for years, and the little things that we added to her.
Yep.
You know, using her jab and learning how to box a little bit.
And how did it go?
Just fighting all the time.
How did she react when she knew the medal was hers, gold medal winner?
It was amazing to watch. You know, everybody had predicted that she would win the gold medal. You know, and she went out there and did it. She represented us well.
Yeah.
You know, and it was just an emotional night for her. You know, because prior to that she had never lost before. You know, she had her first loss at the world championship. You know, and when I recall her saying to me after that, because we had continued to train, and we went over to spar, and then on the sparring sessions, we sparred against the Chinese boxers. You know, she gained that confidence back. And I remember we was walking back from that training session. She said to me, you know, I kind of thought I lost it a little bit. You know, so I'm very thankful that we chose to continue to train and go spar with her and try to get as much experience as she possibly could.
Yeah.
You
think she'll get treated? I'm sorry. Go on.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You think she's going to get treated? I'm sure she won't get treated as well as Andre Ward did, as a guy winning the gold medal. But do you think it'll be something close, something similar? Think she'll break barriers?
I think so. I think they knocking on the door already. I've been hearing a lot of good things about her. You know, how people, want to support her, endorse her, sponsor her, you know. And to me, I think the women draw more sponsors to amateur boxing in the United States than the men do.
Oh, it was
exciting. I mean, you look at Marlene, the type of sponsorship she had and endorsement she had.
Yeah.
You know,
she was on CNN.
Queen had started opening doors after she, revealed her life story and all that. Cause the women have some amazing stories.
Absolutely.
You know, and people take to that. You know, and they excellent. To me, their skill level is increasing every year, getting better every year.
Kicked in the doors.
Okay. Say that again.
They kicked in the doors.
They kicked it in, and they exciting to watch as well.
Absolutely.
So, we got two different programs we're working with. We got a very experienced women program. We need to continue and build off that. And then we got to find a way to build our men's program up. And it's got to start with our juniors, with our JOs. So we got to start investing our money there and structure the programs there and have a 4-year plan, with training cycles and international competition, and qualified coaches around, and then we got to educate our coaches. Our coaches pool is, in my opinion, is weak. We go around saying that we got some of the best coaches in the world. Yes, we do. We have some good ones and we have some bad ones. We have some don't even have a clue about how to put programs together. We just wear the title, coach. We open a gym and say we coaches.
Yeah. Anyone could be.
We had no coaching development.
Yeah.
You know.
Let me ask you, as a boxing guy, how impressed were you with the other teams, though, the men teams?
I mean, it's nothing that I fear for our country. You know, one of the things that, you know, like we had the training partners out there, you know, and we had a little meeting with them, and we tried to, you know, get some feedback from them to see what they learned, because hopefully they'll be some of them will be some Olympians in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Sean Simpson said, we get baby too much in the United States.
Yeah, yeah, it's true.
That's what he said. And I was happy to hear him say that, because he saw it. He understand when he said that to me. And they realized that we fight, our pace is too slow in America.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? In amateur boxing, it's fast.
Yep.
It's fast.
Yeah.
And so I don't care what nobody say. We pick up too many bad habits when we're in those pro gyms and sparring with those pros. They don't help us for amateurs.
Yeah. You look at guys like
develop bad habits for us.
Guys like Kostya from Russia. He turns pro and he could pretty much win a championship. And guys today like Guillermo Rigondeaux from Cuba, you know, he's already a champion. Won his championship in 7th pro fight.
Right.
So these guys come prepared.
That's right. They come prepared, you know, and you know, let's take and I love this kid to death, and I thought he was gonna have a good chance, and that's Jose Ramirez, you know, because he's a beast. I think he's going to be a hell of a pro.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I think he's going to be a hell of a pro.
Yeah.
But he had that pro. He's already groomed for professional boxing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when he came into the gym and we saw him, I said, if we don't get him to start faster, we're going to be in trouble.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
He didn't get embarrassed.
He gets stronger. Third, fourth, fifth round, he gets stronger.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he put himself in a position, you know, if we would have had that third round and that first or even a second, he would have pulled it out.
Yeah. All our guys, I think, from this class will turn out to be better pros, and
I think they will too. I think they will too. I think we're gonna have some good pros out of this class, like Terrell, Earl. I don't know if JoJo gonna stay around. That's Joseph Diaz, or he's gonna turn professional. But if he do, and if they move him right, because he's very young, you know, still. But I think he be one, and Ramirez is gonna be one. Mm-hmm. You know. I don't know. I know Dominic was looking at turning pro, but I pray that he doesn't.
Yeah.
Really do.
He actually
I don't think he's ready.
Sparred with the Klitschko's, didn't he?
Say that again?
Dominic got some sparring in with the Klitschko's, I heard, right? Did he? Or was that Michael Hunter?
No, Michael Hunter used to go over there and spar with the Klitschko.
So, yeah.
You know, I didn't see the purpose of that, besides the financial purpose, but I don't see anything that he wasn't going to see anyone that big in amateur boxing, you know. Yeah. You know, so
that's why I'm thinking they'll be better pros than they are amateurs. They're already being treated like pros pretty much. They were trained a lot. Yeah.
Exactly.
So hopefully by the next Olympics you'll have time to put your stamp, the Basheer stamp on them. What do you?
Well, I'm just asking for an opportunity, you know, fair opportunity. Give me 4 years, you know, and let me get the financial support, the leadership support, a unified organization. We all traveling down the same path. You know, I don't know any organization is going to be successful just divided. You know, so once we decide that as an organization that we want to come together and move in the same direction, and not just say we want to do what's best for our country and the athletes, but put actions behind it. Mm-hmm. You know, put action behind it. So we have a new leader in office now, Dr. Butler. You know, so we'll see which way he directs this program, this organization. Mm-hmm. You know, he just been in office for a very short time, so he got the wheel, the ball, and so we're gonna see what he does with it. You know, I'm supporting him. I hope the rest of the country support him as well. Give him his shot.
Yeah, don't be afraid. No? Tell him what you want him to do. you know what you need. Make it happen. And
right.
One more question. Not just I know you're loyal to the American team. You got a chance to know them and stuff. But when you look at other people who are gonna turn pro, or who impressed you from other teams? Anyone in particular? Or did you?
I like, I forget that kid he's from France, 69 kilo. I thought he was really sharp.
Uh-huh.
I thought he beat the Ukraine and didn't get the decision.
Was it Ubali? Wasn't Ubali.
I can't remember. He's from France, 69 kilo. Same weight class Earl Spence.
No, I'm not even sure. I don't have that information in front of me.
Right. And then who else stood out to me was I like the Chinese light heavyweight. I don't know if he won it or not. I can't recall. But he was pretty sharp.
Yeah.
Who else? The Cuban 60 kilo.
Not Alvarez, right?
No, it wasn't 60. Was he 41 kilo? I mean, the 64 kilo, 141. That could have been him.
I don't know. Those kilos get me.
141. But the one that stays in my mind was that the Frenchman.
No.
69 kilo. I thought he boxed the heck out of the Ukraine, the world champ. And he didn't get the call.
Yeah, Basheer Abdullah.
And I thought it was very sad.
Yeah, it is sad, but I know with hard work, you're going to turn it around, and we're going to have a better 2016.
God's willing, if I get that opportunity.
I hope you do.
Politics is crazy in the organization.
It's true. It's true. From the amateur to the pros. Basheer Abdullah,
right.
Appreciate you. Appreciate your time.
Hey, thanks. Thanks, man.
Take it easy.
All right, you too.
I want to thank Basheer Abdullah for coming by and sharing his insight and his opinions and letting us know, giving us the inside on what happened in London. And hopefully, if he does get the shot to continue as coach, hopefully they'll give him what he needs to have a better 2016 than we had at 2012 in London. And once again, I want to thank Basheer, and thanks for joining us here at PBI Radio. And follow me on Twitter at Chris2Guns. Thank you.